Over here is the 2024 facelift Land Rover Discovery Sport. Now, the philosophy of the Discovery Sport is for it to be the successor of the infamous Land Rover Freelander. I know, perhaps a terrible choice of words, but I just had to say this, okay? Because this is how I truly felt. The Land Rover Freelander was famous. Everybody knew it. Everybody loved it. But its reliability was always a nightmare. I have a lot of thoughts racing in my mind, and this brings me down to a big question. What exactly makes it special? Like, what's so special about this Discovery Sport? Now, at this point, it remains a bit of a mystery as to who exactly the Discovery Sport competes against. Me personally, I'm convinced it competes against the BMW X3, the Mercedes GLC, or the Audi Q5, or the Volvo XC60. Already we're off to a great start. I see a 360-degree parking camera with parking sensors at the front and at the rear, and you get actual air vents on the side, nothing pretentious. Then as we look at the side view of this Land Rover Discovery Sport, we see that all four doors get keyless entry, and then this C-pillar is prominent. This is where we see the Freelander identity, and they even put the Land Rover badge right here. Now, German competitors have a more interesting door sound, whereas this Land Rover Discovery Sport, I don't know, generic sound, I guess. For the facelift, this is where we see a massive change. Okay, so just like every other car manufacturer, they've resorted to moving everything to the screen. Gone are the days when you'd have a lot of buttons in a Range Rover or in a Land Rover. Now, there's not a single button right here. Not a single button. Nowhere to be seen. The only button I have is the parking brake button and the hazard light buttons. That's very, very cool. But at the same time, I have to wonder, is it a good idea putting everything on the screen? Because the German competitors tend to be moderate about it. You have a part of it where there are physical buttons, and then another part where there's the touch screen. You get electric seating adjustments. This is great. Seating memories just right there, easy to reach. Something about this interior is different from my experience in Land Rover SUVs in general, or should I say full-sized SUVs. The steering wheel is good. It's nice to hold on to, but it's a bit on the firm side. It's like you get the leather wrapping, but it's not squidgy at all. Otherwise, as part of the facelift, I assume you get this piano black to it. It's just like what you've seen on the Range Rover. This is good. This is excellent. I'm impressed. And driving palettes. Sporty. Now, window buttons are onto the windowsill. This is good. But then something about the mirror controls looks a bit dated. It's just plastic, if you see what I'm saying. Nice door handle. That's good. And then for some reason, you get this. You get a small touch of a trim, this silver trim right here and right there, and then this trim is nowhere else to be seen. It's not even here at all. Instead, all you get here is this plastic trim. 82,000 euros. And then this gear stick sits right in the middle as if it were an afterthought. You get two bottle holders, well, cup holders, but they're rather big. They can hold a lot of things. That's good. Then you get a little storage space right here, right in the middle. And then you get a wireless cell phone recharge with 2 charging ports, and that's it. Looking at this area right here, I'm under the impression it's empty. It's missing something. It's as if it was there as an afterthought, you know what I'm saying? And this doesn't even open like in the original Range Rover, so... And no glasses holder, but you get a panoramic roof, not a sunroof. Right, again, lots of things I have to get used to. Central console, ooh, okay, the central console storage is actually the best. It's amazing. And yeah, okay, this is decent. And you can even remove this cup holder. Oh wow, okay, I can remove this cup holder for additional space. Okay, that's practical. And you get one lonely charging port over there. Whatever it did to deserve that. And then you get a glove box that's big. It's better than average, actually. And the door bin is decent. Now, as for the infotainment system, it's nice to navigate around once you get a hang of it. So let's check out the mapping, my favorite feature. Mapping is my favorite feature, and so far what I can say of the map is that it's good. It gets the job done. It's better than BMW in the context that at least it's not blue or night mode or anything. It's all as if it's daytime mode, almost like Google Map, but yeah. So you get the greenery, you get the built-up areas, but it just doesn't feel on par with what the Volkswagen Group usually have, if you know what I'm saying. Because the Volkswagen Group, they tend to give extra details, like the relief and everything. So yes, whereas BMW has the ease of use. They would at least have a swivel wheel somewhere here, and they would have a bigger screen than this, something more engaging. There's something about this infotainment system that seems a bit laggy by 1 nanosecond. It's responsive, but just 1 nanosecond late perhaps. And then if we navigate around the menu, we can take a look at the other driving modes you get. So comfort, eco, auto terrain response, grass, gravel, snow, as if you'll ever be using those. But hey, this is the tradition of the Land Rover brand. They always had a little swivel wheel for your off-road controls. And yeah, this was a big deal back in the days, but nowadays I don't think anyone really uses this feature. And then you can also take a look at vehicle dimensions. Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay, off-road details, I see. This is great. Excellent. And then climate. Let's take a look at climate. Ooh. This kind of diagram kind of reminds me of what Volvo used to have back in the 2000s. And it's funny I say this because until 2008 or the very late 2000s, they were owned by the Ford brand. Ford did own Volvo and Land Rover, so it's quite interesting to have this diagram right here. Now this particular Land Rover Discovery Sport is a plug-in hybrid. How amazing is that? Now this could explain why it costs 82,000 euros. But then when it comes to hybrid technologies on a crossover SUV of this size and segment, the Germans do tend to offer a more generous price tag. Now it's time to check out the rear seats of the Land Rover Discovery Sport. Okay, so this is where things get surprising, because this is the first time I actually have good things to say about the back seats, because right here I'm seeing a massive contrast to my experience at the front seat. The front seat felt like it was under-equipped, or something was missing, or it was a bit bland. Sitting in the back seat, it's busy. Wow, it's like London. So first thing that drew my attention was this area right here. The air vents, the heated rear seats, then a 12-volt socket and 2 charging ports and a nice detailed storage space. What? Why didn't they do the same thing for the front seat? And then back seat pocket, which is plastic, but it can fit my bottle there. And it's like a limousine almost. My feet room is acres of space. Knee room, acres of space. Headroom, there's no question at all. But let's check their headrest. There is a question. The headrest is a bit firm. Now let's check out the... Whoa. Let's check out the armrest. Ooh, this is where it gets better. So you get this nice armrest right here with 2 cup holders, and then a little storage space right here. That's decent. Good. I'm impressed. And then we check out the door bin. The door bin is very decent. A lot of space in there. You know what? The practicality solutions for the rear is great. It's very family friendly. But the only problem I've just remarked is that it feels a bit dated. There's just something about the interior overall, the front seat and the back seat, that feels slightly dated. Now the moment of truth for the Land Rover Discovery Sport, the boot space. Judging by the boxy design, I was expecting the boot space to be rather spacious, but then it looks like it has a boxy design thanks to this little spoiler looking thing right up here. But then as we look closely, it actually has a rather sloped design. It's a bit like a Velar, but the Velar has it more to an extreme extent. So it's... Let's check this out. So first advantage I've just noticed is that the body paint doesn't stick out at all. So loading luggages in and out should not be an issue. You will not scratch the body paint by accident. Instead, your luggages will make contact with this pleasant plastic material right here. And this is good. It's durable. Now let's... when we look at the boot space, plentiful volume. It's almost like a box, but just again, you see this area right here, it's a bit round edged. So therefore the volume above may not be much, but you can fold down the rear seats easily. Look at this. Well, oh yes, there we go. There we go. The seats, they fold down quickly, but not fast enough compared to something like a Skoda Kodiaq. Fine quality tether points. Nice. I mean, they're just too shiny. I don't even want to use them. Look at that. It's too good to be used. Anyways, the boot floor is not adjustable. Instead, you get your repair kit underneath. That's decent. 12-volt socket right here. A trailer hitch hook. So here's my conclusion of the Land Rover Discovery Sport. If you are looking at a family car that can do some serious off-roading and at the same time be versatile to use, this is the car that suits the bill. Other than that, I have absolutely no idea what it really specializes in, because at this point I see a lot of conflicts. The red caliper implies sportiness. Then the off-road kit inside, the off-road details imply something like a typical Land Rover. So there's a bit of a conflict, and this is the thing I noticed about the Discovery Sport. Since it was released, it was a great company vehicle. Everybody buys it as a company vehicle. But then at the same time, other than that, I could not really see what was the real advantage it really has compared to the BMW X3, the Audi Q4, or the Mercedes GLC, or even something like a Volvo XC60. But then again, I repeat, if you really need family friendliness, this has one of the best rear seats ever. I mean, honestly, it felt like a limousine at the rear, which is a bit surprising because the front seat felt very empty. It didn't have much going on. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos on the run. I will see you all next time.